It's rebound week for TCU after taking their first loss of the season last Saturday against Oklahoma State. With Carlos Mendez, I'm Travis Brown. They have the opponent definitely to do that this Saturday at home against Kansas.
You know, Kansas has its own weapons and its own ability, but this is a game for TCU just to get back on track and sort of reestablish their own confidence and get last week behind them, because they've got two games at the end of the year that, you know, as Gary Patterson said today, can get them noticed again if they can play the right way.
So, moving on, TCU has this opportunity in this game to move on past that loss that they took in Oklahoma State and really try to regain their footing of sorts.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do on defense, because the style of defense they play really asks a lot of their cornerbacks. There's a lot of one-on-one coverage, and Kansas will throw the ball downfield on you too. They have made some plays in that department, so this game is as much about establishing confidence for the defense again, you know, as it is for the offense and some of the younger guys they have to play with. And so the more guys you can work in, the more guys that might have a little success in this game, the better off you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. The important thing for the defense is, and the offense in regards to the defense, is if you can get an early lead quickly in this game, it gives an opportunity to get some of those starters out, not only to get some of the younger guys experience, but Patterson said that that defense was pretty banged up. He said that he probably shouldn't have played Nick Orr last week because of injury. He was not up to 100%. So you could, if you put the points up early in the game, use this as almost kind of a bye week. Get those guys out of there and have some time for them to rest up.
Yeah, at this stage of the year, any extra rest you can get that you can squeeze out of a game or a week is nothing but beneficial, because with as many guys that are hurt already and as deep as they've had to go into their roster, the number of hits they're taking, it adds up. And I think you may have seen that last week, because they just didn't have enough health. They weren't at full strength for that offense in that place against Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm. So looking towards this Kansas game, what's important for TCU to come out of it with a win?
Well, just to get back to where you're protecting the ball. Those 4 turnovers last week were just killers. And that's one thing that TCU had done a good job all year, is just taking care of the ball. I know they hadn't gotten a ton of takeaways, but they also hadn't given the ball away either. So if you can reestablish that part of your identity, I think that's one of the number one things you need going into these last 2 games, because against OU and Baylor, free chances against them, you know, are going to end up killing you.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting to look at both the TCU offense and defense and how well the communication is flowing through all the channels in this game. You have former defensive backs coach Kenny Perry on the other sideline as a defensive coordinator for Kansas now, and Patterson said they're going to have to switch all of their offensive signals both on defense and on offense, because he's someone who is in the system and knows that. So it'll be interesting to see how well the lines of communication are working in this game, and if by anything that they're doing, they're tipping off or giving an advantage to Kansas and Kenny Perry in that.